Part 1. The mindset of a man. What drives men? There is no truer statement. Men are simple. Get this into your head first, and everything you learn about us in this book will begin to fall into place. Once you get that down, you'll have to understand a few essential truths. Men are driven by who they are, what they do, and how much they make. No matter if a man is a CEO, or con, or boss, everything he does is filtered through his title, who he is, how he gets that title, what he does, and the reward he gets for the effort, how much he makes. These three things make up the basic DNA of manhood. The three accomplishments every man must achieve before he feels like he's truly fulfilled his destiny as a man. And until he has achieved his goal in those three areas, the man you are dating, committed to, or married to will be too busy to focus on you. Think about it. From the moment a boy is born, the first thing everyone around him starts doing is telling him what he must do to be a real man. He is taught to be taught, to wrestle, climb, get up without crying, not let anyone push him around. He is taught to work hard, to do chores around the house, get the groceries out of the car, take out the trash, shovel the snow, cut the grass, and as soon as he is old enough, get a job. He is taught to protect, to watch out for his mother and his younger siblings, to watch over the house and the family's property. And he is especially encouraged to uphold his family name, make something of himself, so that when he walks in a room, everybody is clear about who he is, what he does, and how much he makes. Each of these things is taught in preparation for one thing, manhood. The pursuit of manhood doesn't change once a boy is grown. In fact, it's only magnified. His focus has always been on, and will remain on, who he is, what he does, and how much he makes until he feels like he's achieved his mission. And until a man does these things, women only fit into the cracks of his life. He's not thinking about settling down, having children, or building a home with anyone until he's got all three of those things in sync. I am not saying that he has had to have made it, but at least he has to be on track to making it. This is certainly how it worked for me. I'll never forget how disappointed, frustrated, and unhappy I was when, in my early 20s, I was laid off from the Ford Motor Company. I was already a college dropout, and now without a job. I hardly had enough money to take care of myself, much less a family. This left me unsure of my future, what I was going to do, how much I was going to make, and what my title would be. The titles, college graduate and Ford inspector, were gone. Having no job pretty much meant that my chances of bringing home a good paycheck were zero, and I hadn't a clue how I was going to make money. It took me a while to find my footing. I dabbled in various jobs. I owned a carpet cleaning business. I sold carpet. I sold Amway products. the Dick Gregory Bahamian diet, and Elway Insurance, and Commonwealth Insurance. It was madness what I was doing to try to get my life together. Finding someone serious to settle down with was the absolute last thing on my mind. Then, one night, a woman, for whom I used to write jokes, encouraged me to go to a local comedy club and sign up for amateur night. See, I knew I was funny, and I made a few dollars, very few dollars, writing material for up-and-coming local comedians who were trying to find their way into the industry. But I hadn't a clue, really, how to go about getting into the business for myself. Still, this woman saw something in me and told me to take the stage. So I did, and I killed. I won $50, which today may not seem like a lot of money, but when I was broke at the time, it felt like $5,000 for telling jokes. I also was guaranteed another $50 if, as the winner, I opened the following week's amateur night competition. The next day, I went to a printer and spent $15 of my winnings on business cards that, along with my phone number, read Steve Harvey, comedian. They were flat and flimsy and didn't have any raised lettering, but those business cards announced that I was Steve Harvey, who I am, and that I had a special talent in comedy, what I do. How much I was going to make remained to be seen, but at least I had the who I am and the what I do lined up. If men aren't pursuing their dreams, if we are not chasing the who we are, the what we do, and the how much we make, we are doomed. Dead. But the moment that we figure out the puzzle and feel like our dreams are taking shape, new life breathes into us. It makes us vibrant, enthusiastic, and animates us. From the moment I became a comedian, I stepped onto the stage ready to be the very best. Even today, no matter how tight I am, no matter what is going in my life, I'm never late for work, and I've never once missed a gig. Why? Because when I wake up, my dream is in check. I am living it out live and in color every day, whether it's on the radio during the Steve Harvey Morning Show, or on television with my various projects, or on stage during my Steve Harvey live shows. Who I am is certain. I am Steve Harvey. What I do is certain, comedy. And how much I make is right in line with what I've always wanted for my family and me. And now I can pay attention to my family. All the fox paint in my house, the metal ceilings, the leisure chairs, the dogs outside, the cars in the yard, college tuition for my kids. Everything is paid for. Everyone is sad. I can provide for them the way I've always wanted to. I can protect them the way that I was raised to. And in my family's eyes, I am unquestionably a man, which means I have a clear mind when I go to sleep at night. This is a drive that every man has, whether he's the best player in the NBA or the best Pee-wee football coach in rural Minnesota, whether he is the head of a Fortune 500 company or the supervisor on the line at the local bakery. whether he is the kingpin of a major cartel or the chief corner boy on the block. Encoded in the DNA of the male species is that we are to be the provider and the protector of the family, and everything we do is geared toward ensuring we can make this happen. If a man can afford a place to stay, then he can protect his family from the elements. If he can afford a pair of sneakers for his child, he can feel confident enough to send him or her to school, feeling secure and upbeat. If he can afford meat at the grocery store, then he can feel assured that he can feed his family. This is all any man wants, anything less, and he doesn't feel like a man. Even more, we want to feel like we are number one. We want to be the best somewhere, in charge. We know we are not going to be head man in every situation, but somewhere in our lives we are going to be the one everyone answers to because it's that important to us. We want the bragging rights, the right to say, I am number one. Women don't seem to care about this so much, but for us men, it's everything. After we've attained that, it's critical that we can show off what we get for being number one. We've to be able to flaunt it, and women have to be able to see it. Otherwise, what's the use of being number one? You need to know this, because you have to understand a man's motivation, why he's not home, why he spends so much time working, why he's watching his money the way he does. Because in his world, he has been judged by other men, based on who he is, what he does, and how much he makes. That affects his mood. If you know he is not where he wants to be, or not on track for being where he wants to be, then his mood swings at the house will make more sense to you. Your inability to get him to sit and just talk now makes sense. His on the grid mentality becomes more clear to you. Really, it's all tied to the three things that drive him. So, if this on his mind, and he hasn't lined up the who he is, the what he does, and the how much he makes in the way that he sees fit, he can't possibly be to you what he wants to be, which means that you can't really have the man you want. He can't sit around talking with you, or dream about marriage and family, if his mind is on how to make money, how to get a better position, how to be the kind of man he needs to be for you. In my experience, these facts don't always sit well with most women. Many of you figure that if a man truly loves you, the two of you should be able to pursue your dreams together. Stability is important to you, but you would rather build the foundation of your relationship together, no matter the man's station in life. This is honorable, but really it's not the way men work. His eye will be on the prize, and that prize may not necessarily to be you, if he is not up where he wants to be in life. It's impossible for us to focus on the two. We are just not that gifted. Sorry. Mind you, a man doesn't have to make a lot of money right now, as long as he sees his dreams being realized. The title is clear to him. His position is leading him in the direction of the place where he wants to be, and he knows the money will come. Then he can rest a little easier, recognizing that he is on the verge of becoming the man he wants to be. The way you can help him get there is to help him focus on his dream, see the vision, and implement his plan. If you can see yourself in that plan, you can get a clearer sense of this in my chapter, The 5 Questions Every Woman Should Ask Before She Gets In Too Deep. Then latch on to it. Because when he reaches the level of success he is hoping to reach, he'll be a better, happier man for it, and you will be happy too.